What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Hope you're all good. Don't have my microphone in place already, so sorry if there's some weird noises coming from my microphone for a second. There we go. So we're all set. So thank you guys so much for joining in the stream as usual, and I will get to why the title says bad news in a second. But just want to see who is in the chat and also what you're drinking. Of course, I'm on beer as usual. What is everybody else drinking? It's later than the 3 PM one we did on Saturday, so no excuse not to be drinking unless you've got work tomorrow like me. So that'd be a pretty good excuse. The people we've got in the chat so far, we have Thomas McCarthy, we have Seb in the chat, we've got Ismail Mayet, we've got Daz Dark, Siraj is of course in the chat. Thomas McCarthy getting everyone to like and share as usual. Dom Stimpfig is back in the chat. Florence Sandu. Gordon Gilbody is here. Oh no, his beer's not cold enough. Guys, we're going to have to, delay the stream. I'll come back in about an hour when Gordon's beer's cool enough, because, come on, he can't be drinking a warm beer. Florence Sandu on the chamomile tea. That's a man's drink, that is. Well done. 3-day weekend on whiskey and coke. The false nine is on a binge. Michael Ringsell is also in the chat. Yeah, it's good, Michael. How you doing? You good? Maybe on a little bit later. Depends when this stream finishes. We've got Manish Fappa. I hope I said that right. He's in the chat. Philip Eriksson is in the chat. AGCC. Ilyas Hussein. Damn, we got loads of people already joining the chat. 22 and counting so far. Green tea needs to lose some belly fat for convection photo shoot. Not sure what that is. What the flock is up, JNO? How you doing, J-Rock? Using the flock in your speech. That's what we got to get on to. Seb, as far as live at 3 o'clock on Saturday, I'm working, so no. That will be something I do when I can, but otherwise, sorry. Chaos thanks me for streaming. Said he was bored out of his mind, so I'm glad I could come on and hopefully entertain you today. Gordon Gilbody with the knowledge. He's sticking him in the freezer. Make sure you don't leave him in there for too long. Donovan Chevry is here as well. I now get what he was saying. Thanks for clarifying for me, Florence Sander. I think Thomas McCarthy saying, please ask questions. Don't worry, there's time for questions. Chaos already jumping in with a question, though. What do you think of Otamendi to Kiko for Mina and David Silva to Coutinho? I mean, I don't see the rush to get out Otamendi because he's got the goal threat, and I think eventually Man City will start picking up clean sheets again. David Silva to Coutinho, though. Everyone's jumping on the Coutinho bandwagon because he's had 2 very good games. And don't get me wrong, Coutinho is an amazing player. But he usually scores in bursts and then has quiet periods. And I've had a bad relationship with Philip Coutinho. Whenever I've got him, he doesn't perform. So I'm not sure I'll be bringing him in. But right now, his ownership is soaring as far as I'm aware. So it could be, if you're thinking about having him, the earlier you get him in, the better. If we just have a quick look at his ownership. But I've got Salah, so I feel like I'm covered. The fixtures are good, though, in the next 3. His ownership is only at 8.2, so it's still a differential. If you're trying to climb up the leagues, then that is a good shout, Coutinho. And then, of course, you might be needing to save money. But I wouldn't say there's a rush chaos to get out Otamendi. Dom Stimfig is on the hot chocolate right now. Let me just clarify if I'm right with the fact that I believe Nicolas Otamendi is a goal threat. He's had 5 attempts on goal in the last 6 games. Not as high as Alonso. Kolasinac would be better. Who's only slightly more expensive. Monreal's had 7 attempts. But as far as on target, he's only had 1. Otamendi's had 2 on target. As far as shots on target, only Marcus Alonso and Kurt Zuma beat out. And Zappacosta actually as well beat out Otamendi. You also have Baines on 3 shots on target. So there are some options that have more shots on target. As far as total attempts, there are quite a few people that have had more attempts. Dan, Clark, Bertrand, Monreal, Kolasinac and Alonso. But I just feel like inside the box, nearly all of Otamendi's chances come from inside the box. 3 of them out of 5. So it's actually not... You know what? I think he was one of the best for attempts, and I think I've just continued to believe he is. but it doesn't look like he's continued to be one of the best. Big chances. He's only had one big chance. He's had a lot of his chances have been headers, I believe, if I'm correct. No, actually, only 2. So, yeah, actually ignore me. Maybe Otamendi isn't someone you need to keep in your side. But, you know, it's good that I checked if my knowledge was correct, and it looks like I wasn't. Hot chocolate right now. Domston thinking nothing wrong with hot chocolate. Do you know who August Ames is? I feel like that's a woman, but I'm not 100% sure who it is. Mate, if you're a doctor, we'll have to figure out a way to change your name to Dr. Siraj. The FPL Doctor. That could be your YouTube channel. Seb asks, how's my team for Gameweek 16 transfers? I'm not going to lie, I've been busy this week. So I have not actually thought about my team at all since the last time we streamed. I've got a feeling Pogba will leave for Ramsey unless I can figure out someone that is a better choice than Ramsey in the up-and-coming fixtures. As far as other players I may consider, maybe Fabregas could be brought in because of Chelsea's good fixtures. We could be looking at maybe Zaha if I thought he could do something in the next 4. They don't have too bad fixtures. I don't have enough to bring in Coutinho, which would be nice because everyone else is. Leicester, Mahrez has Palace, Southampton, Newcastle, and then Pogba's back. But I'm not too sure about bringing in a Leicester player. But it has to be Pogba I swap out, which is annoying because I had other plans. Nice to see my YouTube counter is working and in effect. AKA it's still showing 0. There we go. That is fixed. Jeff Holt says it's flocking cold tonight. We were meant to go out, me and the family today, and it was just so cold outside that only I went out to quickly go down to the shop and get the necessary supplies for the household. But yeah, it wasn't pleasant outside. Kolasinac, Otamendi to Kolasinac is a good idea. I like that, and then David Silva to Ramsey, I can get on board with that. Arsenal do have a decent run of fixtures coming up. With only really Liverpool in the next 5 that is difficult. So I think that could work out for you, Chaos. Siraj, I agree. Coutinho is one of those players that takes a lot of his shots from outside the box generally. And sometimes he'll have great game week scores and then he'll just kind of go quiet. And you'll still look at his attempts and go, wow, he's getting a lot of attempts. Right now, Coutinho's had 12 attempts on goal in the last 6. Only 4 of those attempts have come from inside. Well, I can get Salah with 23 attempts with 17 of his attempts from inside the box. Big chances, Salah's had 6. Coutinho's had 1. On target, Coutinho's had 4 to Salah's 13. We've got players like Hazard with 15 shots on target out of 19. So there's players that are better choices for me than Coutinho. And I think I saw someone else say this, if I can remember who it is. Someone was talking about a player and how everyone is thinking you need to get him in right now. And he kind of proved that you didn't, because the likelihood of him keeping his stats up was unlikely. But I've forgotten who the player is now, which is annoying. Anyway, Jan is in the chat. Thank you for joining, Jan. Wind right while I was saying your name. We got Iton AB. I don't think I've seen you in the chat before. Welcome to the stream as we hit over 40 people viewing. Thank you guys so much for the support. If I don't get to your question, I will get to it eventually, but I do get behind the chat. Jones or Mustafi? I would go with Mustafi because Jones is still a bit of a risk. Don't think we have definite news of when he's coming back. He's 50% chance of playing the next game. He could get rested as well. Maybe rested and then brought slowly back into match sharpness. So I wouldn't go with Phil Jones. Mustafi, though, didn't he pick up a knock in the last game as well? Mustafi's 50% as well. So basically, as far as Arsenal are concerned, and Mustafi, if he does miss the next game, he will be back for the game after. Whereas with Jones, we've got no proper news about whether he is coming back or not. So Mustafi looks more likely to be the one that does play at the moment. Chaos says it's just that Liverpool playing ridiculous good right now, plus I'm not convinced by City's defence. To be honest, City are slowly dying down in their performances. We're not seeing those big scorelines anymore. So while I was upset about not having Man City coverage, I'm starting to get to the point now where I'm not as concerned as I was initially. And you know what? Now there's 40 people in the chat. Before we do continue, and before Ismail Mayet has a heart attack or something, I will actually discuss why the thumbnail says bad news. Basically, I want to say it now so it doesn't come as a massive surprise later on down the line. But I'm unlikely to be able to continue to stream 2 days a week every week. As you guys know, I will be a father of 2 soon. My wife's expecting, we're expecting another girl. Should be in March, early March. Could be slightly earlier, could be slightly later. That's how pregnancies work, of course. You don't know exactly when the baby's coming. But what will happen is, and this is from experience, is at first the baby has to sleep in the same room as us. And the baby is going to have regular naps and all sorts. And unfortunately, streaming just won't fit in with the timing of me going to work, with the baby being asleep and all of that stuff. So until the baby moves out of our bedroom, then I'm not going to be able to stream. If I come back at 6 o'clock, I can't stream until the kids are in bed, and if the kid's in bed, I can't stream because the kid's in bed, which is in our bedroom. So I will continue to do videos because I'm sure me and my wife can work around getting me in here for 15 minutes or whatever to record, and then I can do my editing like I usually do in the sitting room with the family or at work on my break. So the videos will continue. Unfortunately, the streams will probably die off until we get back to a place where our bedroom is our bedroom again, and only our bedroom. So it's unfortunate because we're really getting some momentum with the stream, and I would love to continue it, but with it not really doing anything like massively extra for the channel, there's no way we can really figure out a way to fit it in, other than if I somehow manage to fit my stuff into the sitting room. Then it's probably going to piss my wife off while she's trying to watch TV. I'm streaming. So maybe we'll figure out a way to do it, but I don't have a spare room anymore. And I used to have a spare room, which is why I used to still be able to do loads of content before. That is also why the other channel probably isn't going to see any sort of gaming, because gaming videos take longer to record. I might do something else with that channel. If you haven't known already, I have changed the banner on the top of my other channel. So something's happening over there. We'll see if people like it or not, but it won't be gaming purely because I just don't think it will be able to fit in the future until my new daughter moves out of our room. Anyway, sorry, I've ranted and raved about that for a little bit. So Ismail Mayet, that's why it says bad news. I may repeat that just before I sign off tonight as well, just in case anyone else jumps in, but that is the news. Anyway, we don't need 11 consistent players. I need 11 consistent players. I wish I had them. I don't. We got Desire Charija in the house. How you doing, my friend? Dom Stimfig's transfers this week. He's got Jesus out, Morata in, Niasse out, Andre Gray in, and finding Pogba out, Ramsey in, -4. I like all of those moves. Andre Gray I'm not 100% sold on, but otherwise those are all good moves. So I agree with every single move you've got there. I've got Hazard in, Sane has gone, was going to sell Kane to fund it, but instead downgraded defender and got Sacco for a bargain, 4.9 million. Crystal Palace are looking better now, so I wouldn't be negative about a Crystal Palace player just yet. I'm not sold on them, but Sacco is capable of scoring goals, and if he does, then it doesn't really matter if they keep a clean sheet or not. Luke Frith is in the chat. How you doing? Ismail Mayet for Pogba. I brought Son. Is that a good transfer? Son's not nailed on, so I'm not sure it's a great transfer, Ismail. If you've heard news that he is going to play, Son can do really well, though. I'm not sure I've got the cash to bring in Özil for... Because Özil's more expensive than Pogba, isn't he, Siraj? So, whilst it's... I would, of course, take your opinion on board, because you are the FPL doctor. I'm not 100% sure I've got the money for it. Doctor Surgeon. That's kind of scary. I feel like he might operate, and I don't need the operation. Desiree Chirida feels like dropping Kane and bringing in Hazard. Kane isn't really doing the business, is he? So a lot of people are considering dropping him. I'm considering it. I probably won't. Craig Manuel saying hello to me and the flock, of course. Gordon Gilbody got Coutinho at 8.8. He's on penalties and scored without looking at the ball. What was that? How he scored a penalty recently? You know, I just, the worry is, I worry he's going to move in January, and then I've got to make a transfer that I wouldn't have necessarily had to made if I didn't bring in Coutinho. Jeff Holt, I was literally getting set up for this stream and saw that Jeff Holt did have some sort of knock, and it looks like 75% chance of playing. When it's 75% chance, often they do play, but yeah, that is a bit worrying. Another injury worry, suspension worry. Lots of worries at the moment. Jan says bought Monreal for Vertonghen. Chance of clean sheet and a big goal threat. Also Calvert-Lewin for Nias. I like both of those moves. Chaos says Coutinho seems to be on penalties. To be honest, I feel like the penalty taker isn't set at Liverpool. I just feel like there's no set penalty taker. Could be, and I don't know about it, but you never know. TP is in the chat. Hopefully he was here for the bad news, because I don't want to keep repeating it. So maybe I should have not put it in the title and then just talked about it at some point. That could be my mistake. Can we hit 50 viewers? We are very close to hitting it right now. So if you can share the video, that would help. I'm drinking beer, of course, TP. What else would I be drinking? Daz Dark took -4, dropped Pogba for Ramsey, then dropped David De Gea for David Diver. That must be Silva for Hazard. Those are two good moves, though, so I wouldn't mind a -4 for that. Good flocking evening. We can put flocking in everything. Yush Valor, hopefully you heard the bad news as well. I mean, it's good news because I'm having a kid, but like, I don't want to make it sound like bad news, like, because it's a good thing, but it just means I won't be able to do the streams as much. Who should I swap Zaha out after this game week? I'd say Ramsey, because they're around the same price. If you've got more money to spend, let me know, JP43, but there's the police, the Popo, for anyone listening. I'd say Ramsey is the most natural swap for Zaha without having to make other moves. Do I bring in Kane for Lukaku? If you don't have Kane, I wouldn't really bring him in. He's not performing, just like Lukaku isn't. Morata seems the most consistent striker at the moment in that premium price range. So maybe Morata if you don't have him. Mark back 76 doesn't have Hazard. It is annoying if you don't have him. Fortunately, I got him in when he had that really good game week just recently. A drunk transfer. I'm not sure there will be a drunk transfer tonight. We'll see how well the stream goes. If the stream goes as well as last time, there might be. Richarlison does have good fixtures, and he's cheaper. So I don't know why. I generally think everyone's got Richarlison, but so if you haven't got Richarlison, Richarlison's a great shout. Just for the record, how much ownership is Richarlison on at the moment? 20%. So not everyone has him, but just if you don't have him, I don't know why you don't have him. I generally feel like he's the one that could potentially be a season keeper. No, I wasn't on about Hosselu. It was someone else. Hosselu I've given up on. I'm hoping Ben Mee will play as well. I will wait and see what's happening there, but I think my transfer's pretty much set in stone anyway. It's most likely going to be Ramsey for Pogba. How you doing, Pedrosa? Nice to see you in the chat. Michael Ringcell saying Pogba for Ramsey. Nice to see you actually getting involved in the FPL chat instead of just saying something random. What's up with the Man City and United players? They have Otamendi, Sterling, Smalling and David De Gea. As far as I'm aware, all of them are fine. The thing we've had is he's on pens and some corners. Coutinho's on all corners. It looks like pens now. I mean, I don't like people on corners unless the team are very good at scoring from corners, because then they're not going to score the goal, really. Apart from maybe Morata, who's good at scoring. Maybe Cahill's good at scoring from corners. With Liverpool, none of their attacking players stand out as good at scoring from corners. And, yeah. Worth going for 2 LFC attackers. You could double up. I'm just not sure doubling up's the right move to make during a period where there's a lot of games close together. If you can afford Coutinho for Pogba, Amir, then that is a decent shout, I feel. So, yeah, I wouldn't say no to it. I just have a bad relationship with Coutinho. Siraj, as far as I'm aware, if you have a player who doesn't play, the person you put as number 1 on your bench comes in. So, I don't think you get the person who scores the most points. As far as I'm aware. That's how it used to be. If it's changed, then I've not kept up to the times. But I'm pretty sure you get the person you put as number 1 is the person that comes in off the bench. And that's the whole reason why they have, like, the numbers 1, 2 and 3. Unless I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. Some congratulations for the baby news. Will Mustafi be able to play? Basically, Bill X, it looks like he's a risk for the next game, but will definitely play in the game against West Ham. The questions have flocked in. Yeah, Jan, I would love to continue the streams, but it's just going to be really difficult to get any time of the day when I'm not at work, or like my time on the Xbox is going to go down as hill as well until the bedroom's ours again. So yeah, it's just an unfortunate thing. Literally, me and the wife only just realised Tuesday night. We were like, because she'd been joking she's a stream widow and saying, I don't see you like 2 days or 2 nights a week because you go and stream. And then it was just like, well, I'm not going to be streaming in next year, near the end of the season. So yeah, unfortunate, but that's the way life is. There will still be the videos though, so move to a Q&A on Facebook, JNO. I mean, I could try and do it on my phone, but would it be decent quality? Like, and I'd have to hold my phone or get something to put my phone on, or I don't know what I could do. I could probably still do it, actually. it would be an awkward setup, and I'd have to move my stuff around all the time. But yeah, it would still be in the sitting room, and it might be even later than they currently are. And then I feel bad for people like Siraj, because I might be starting at like 11 o'clock at night. Very funny, Michael. Actually, it's not funny at all, Michael. But never mind. You did try to be funny, so props to you. Dom Stimfig, it depends how many defenders you've got. If you've only got 3 defenders, then yes, it would have to change to another defender. If you've got 4 defenders and one doesn't play, it could change to a midfielder or a striker. JP43's team has got Pope, Maguire, Jones, Christensen, Sterling, Salah, Zaha, Loftus-Cheek, Hazard, Kane, Morata. Kane is a risk to take out, but a lot of people are thinking about dropping him. Loftus-Cheek, potentially Will Hughes might be a better cheap option. You've got Andrew Sermon, who is quietly scoring points. Sterling's a rotation risk, but he's still scoring points. Jones is an injury worry at the moment. Other than that, the team is looking pretty good. My firstborn is at primary school. She's 25 years old, teaching now. Good you added the teaching on the end. I will probably stream up until the kid's born twice a week. Depends what happens, of course. I don't want to promise it and then it doesn't happen. When I say stream less, it will probably be not at all. I mean, if I can fit it in somewhere random, but it's not even gonna be a case of me having a schedule. It'll be a case of you might go online and see that I'm streaming. That would be it. Like, I'll suddenly realise I can stream for an hour, but I won't be able to like stream and answer every single question. I'll have a set time where I can stream, most likely. So yeah. And Andy's pretty decent. He doesn't go through the questions as much, but Andy's streams are good. Hopefully, you know what would be really cool? It would be cool if someone took up my mantle for a little bit. Not saying on my channel, but if like someone like Kurt or someone could commit some time to doing a stream every 2 weeks, 2 times a week, I would quite happily jump in the chat. FPL Boss, he's a guy that has been doing streams quite a bit recently. What I might do is I might just jump on his streams, give the guy some support that way. So I'd still like to be involved in streams some way, shape or form. So I think it would be a really cool boost if like all of us could just go and support another content creator doing FPL streams. Someone like FPL Boss, I think that would be a massive boost for him. I don't know how often he does it a week. I know we're not exactly staying on FPL topic here, but I think it would be good to find us a home for a bit. And then, of course, when I did start streaming again, we wouldn't just go, alright, that's it. We don't need to watch this guy anymore. But if I look, he's done 1 stream for Gameweek 16 already. He's done 2 streams, 3 days ago, 22 hours ago. Stream there, stream there. So he does about 2 streams a week as well. So you know what? Give that a little click. We may have a home for a bit. And then, of course, we'd continue to carry on in there as well. But it would be good if we all just jumped in somewhere together where we could still chat. Like I said, who knows? If I suddenly blow up in the next, like, say, month or 2, and this becomes my job, or at least, because basically the plan is to always, as soon as I could get a significant wage from this, I would get a part-time job, just so I could do more time for this. But who knows, I might get really lucky with what I'm trying to plan on my other channel. Dom Stimfig's got Gray for the fixtures. Definitely good fixtures. Kane out, Lacazette in, Silva out, Hazard in. I like both of those transfers. Lacazette is definitely good at home for Arsenal as well. What should I do about Elliott? Should I sell Courtois for... Should I do Courtois for Elliott, or do I bring in Alonso for Christensen? I wouldn't bring in Alonso because he's not been consistent in points. He just has a couple of big scores every now and again. I would actually... If you can bring in Courtois for Elliott, then you've got some money in the bank. I would prefer De Gea. I know he's more expensive. Or you could stick to cheap goalkeepers. You've got Fabianski. You've got Pope. You could go to Speroni. Hashtag don't let your imagination run wild. My imagination is always running wild. Ramsey, a good differential. Stick with Sterling against Man United. I would look at Ramsey personally. I prefer Ramsey to Sterling, but I'm a sucker for someone that's playing. My one hate is when the lineups come in and I see a player I've got isn't playing, and I've just put beer on my Elgato. But yeah, I was planning on doing a lot of FIFA on my other channel. Not Football Manager, just because, I don't know, maybe I've fallen out of love with it a bit. I'm sure if I got it and played it with you guys, I would have fun with it again, but I'm going to try something completely new. If you guys could go and subscribe and support the first video, should be up hopefully this week. If you enjoy it, that is, of course, that would be crazy good. Florin Sandu is sticking to Harry Kane as his captain. You know what, Florin, I may do it as well, and then we may be in the exact same position next week when we're looking at Kane and he's not done it again. Starting a new internship, work plus education plus girlfriend. Mate, it's a hard knock life, innit? I wish I'd done an internship. Who knows what position I'd be in right now if I did an internship. But I did a course at uni that I didn't necessarily enjoy, and it showed in my grade, and then I didn't follow it up, and so yeah. Ayushvalur, the channel will never die. Just how much time I can dedicate to it may change. Video wise, it may just come to the fact that I just do more videos, but it may be I just do the same amount of videos, 2 or 3 a week, and then just see what else I can do depending on the week. But of course my wife's going to need support with the new kid. We've still got the other one running around as well, so to be honest, Craig Manuel, you could have both Crystal Palace keepers and then you're set. I am tempted to have both Burnley keepers. What's up, Real DMC? How you doing? News on Moreno. Let's have a look-see. Moreno, ankle injury, no return date, 25% chance of playing. I wouldn't risk it. Definitely doesn't look like he's going to be... it's not likely he's playing. We've noticed me as flagged, J-Rock. Incredible, but Kane might actually act as a differential for me. I actually think he's still like top of polls for most of the websites that do polls for captaincy choices. Craig Manuel sitting on 78 points for that game week, last game week. Now sitting at 17th in the league. He says, thank you for the help this season. Really happy if I have helped you out. That is the main... How's it saying I've got a new subscriber on here, but it didn't pop up there? Unless I'm getting a new subscriber on my other channel, which is great. Not going to argue about that. But yeah, that's what I'm here for, to help you guys. At the end of the day, I'd much rather help a bunch of you do really well and have a rubbish rank myself than vice versa. And the only reason I do my team, and I've kind of changed it in a way that makes it a bit more enjoyable for me, is because I didn't really like doing videos where I just talked about my team. That's not really the point for me. But when I did a My Team episode, it got crazy views. If you look at my views right now, I mean, I did release the My Team one a day earlier. But if I actually have a look at the views, whilst it is a day earlier, you've got 3,527 views on the My Team episode, and we've got 1,430 on the Game Week 16 What We Learned. Now, if I do it the other way round, My Team catches up with What We Learned a lot quicker than What We Learned can ever catch up with My Team. But yeah, my goal is always to help people out and get people into the game. If I can get people excited about playing FPL for the whole season, then I feel like I'm doing good for as far as content is concerned. Because I'm keeping people interested in the game, they're going to keep watching my videos and they're going to keep playing the game. So I think FPL should pay me personally, but you know. Ayish Falur is selling Zaha for Big Shaq. I'm presuming that is Shaqiri. By the way, Big Shaq was in FPL YouTube Rewind, sorry. We should do an FPL Rewind. Anyway, TP Football Analysis. Shame about the lack of streams in the future. Good news is that March is towards the end of the season. Then no football until August, apart from the World Cup. That's the problem. I wanted to do streams for the World Cup as well, which I thought could have been fun. The thing with a kid is you never know when you can move them out your bedroom. Now we're second-time parents. We may very well move the kid out sooner. But of course, as a first-time mum, my wife didn't want to move the kid out of the bedroom too soon. Also, at the time, we were sharing a place, so we didn't have another room that we could just put them in. So, if it happens in time, then good. If it doesn't happen in time, maybe what I do is I take time off in pre-season just so I can get some streams done. But we'll see. Siraj pointed out that Kane isn't a differential really because of his ownership, which is true. Your differential needs to be under 10% of teams selected by really to be a differential. TP, the last daughter was in the room until we moved out, which was about 1.5 years. But that's because I think I already said this, we didn't have a room for the kids. So, of course, she had to keep sleeping in the same room as us. But as soon as we moved out and got our own place, that is when she moved into her own bedroom. So it'd probably be sooner. I would say, I mean, I don't know when you're meant to do it. But we'd do it when we're comfortable and we feel like the kid would sleep normally. But then the problem with that is, would my older daughter sleep properly? Because when we have had other kids around, she just gets too excited and doesn't go to sleep. Desiree Terija says, keeping Kane for the last time. I'm tired of his poor game week points. Same, I'm tired as well. I'm owning my cousins this season from a Yush Falur. They want to know what my secret is. The answer is the flock. I mean, it's completely up to you if you want to share the flock with them. You could just tell them about the videos and not tell them about the streams. You could keep the knowledge of like people like Siraj to yourself. Siraj, people have blind faith in Kane. No offence, JNO. I had this same blind faith with Aguero for ages as well. And I had the blind faith with Sanchez. To be honest, because of the whole Sanchez transfer drama, I haven't had it this year. But usually, I would have started the season off going, Sanchez is one of the best players in the game. Why wouldn't you own him? So I do have this. I do feel like you get an affinity for players if they do well for you in FPL. I would love Joshua King to start scoring again, or Riyad Mahrez, or Jamie Vardy. Even though they're more expensive now, I have fond memories of them doing well for me. I would love it if Tom Heaton was cheaper. He would have been in my team. If Tom Heaton was cheaper, I would just go with Tom Heaton and Nick Pope as my goalkeepers and then not worry about it for the rest of the season. Florence Sandu bragging about having Hazard in for a while. To be honest, I know there's certain players I know are great FPL players. And the only reason I don't have him in is because either they're too expensive or I feel like it needs to come to a point where they've got enough match sharpness as well as match fitness. So, for me, Sanchez, Hazard, Aguero, Kane. I think those are the main four. Trying to think if there's anyone else that I put in that same bracket. David De Gea probably is in that bracket. Just for a goalkeeper, he seems too expensive for me. But I would say, yeah, those four. If I was confident of them being nailed on and confident of them being match sharp, I have confidence in them returning points eventually. Even if it doesn't come straight away and I'm waiting and I'm waiting. I still think Kane will be the Golden Boot winner this year, but I'm starting to get a bit worried. Elite Gamer, I am a loss prevention professional, which basically means I'm a security guard that does look after stock as well, and does try and catch fraudsters, does try and catch dishonest employees, all that kind of stuff. So I don't just stand on a door, but I do stand on a door sometimes. I do work on cameras, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, fortunately I am at a stage in my career where I can get the higher paid jobs. I was a team leader in my last job. I'm now an advisor, which kind of makes me like not under management in stores, but I do have bosses still. I'm not a manager, so to say. But yeah, I get paid decent. The only issue is the area I live in compared to my wage isn't ideal. If I could have my wage in a area outside of London, I'd probably be living life. I'd probably have a better setup, probably have a spare room, all that kind of good stuff. Potentially at some point, me and the missus are thinking of moving out, and apparently I could freeze my salary at my London salary while I moved, so that would be interesting and could potentially put us in a good spot. But of course the dream is to do YouTube. I love doing YouTube. I love FPL as well, but I'd say I love YouTube more than FPL. I don't think this channel will ever not have some sort of FPL content on it, but there is a reason I tried to do football news videos. There's a reason I tried to do gaming videos. There's a reason I'm going to try something new on my other channel, because I do love editing videos, and I do love the sense of pride when you put out a video and it does well, or you're just proud of a video in general. Sometimes it doesn't even always do well, but you just look at the video and go, I like that video. Will Christensen start? I think he will, purely because he seems to be very in favour by Conte. If we actually look at how often he has started, like in the last, since game week 11, he's always started. He does get subbed off, but he always starts. So I would say Christensen is a good bet for starting. Ismail Mayet swapped Richarlison for Shaqiri. I wouldn't have done that purely because Watford's fixtures are really good at the moment. Elite Gamer, do I take out Lukaku for Kane? I wouldn't take Lukaku out for Kane. While I'm keeping Kane, it's purely because I'm worried if I transfer him out, he'll do really well. And to be honest, the longer I keep him and he keeps not doing well, the longer it's going to make me look like I'm an idiot for not getting rid of him. I wouldn't transfer Kane in right now. So I would look at Morata for Lukaku. Craig Manuel, as far as I can tell, Jones is the one that doesn't have any kind of news update. No, in fact, I would say Moreno is the one that is most likely to take the longest to come back, so I'd take Moreno out. With that Liverpool defence, Lewin might be a better gamble. If Jamal Rice is in the chat, Liverpool are at home. They have a good defensive record at home. I often get told off for saying Liverpool's defence are rubbish. Ismail Mayet, we did talk about the double game week last stream. Basically, guys, if you don't know, in game week 22, I believe, both Tottenham and West Ham have a double game week. They're both not playing in game week 21. So, in a double game week, your player plays twice, and you get both points for that game week. Now, in the game week before, you don't have them because, of course, they're not playing. But the idea is you captain someone that is playing twice. They're more likely to get more goals. If they have 2 really good games, you get a massive boost to your score if you pick the right player, of course. It's not usual for a double game week to happen so early in the season. Now, what a lot of people do is they wait for the double game weeks and then use all their chips and their wild card. But this one, I wouldn't necessarily use. You could use the free hit, but there will probably be a game week where there's like 4 to 8 teams that are blanking and not playing. Whereas this game week, there's only 2 teams not playing in a game week. You use your free hit. Then you don't have to plan in advance to change your team. That is the strategy I will be taking. But, of course, you can do what you like. But in Game Week 22, Spurs will have 2 games, as will West Ham, if you think West Ham can get some points. I like K Morata and DCL for forwards. Why are you so negative about Liverpool? I love Liverpool's attack. Salah is my hero right now. Salah's my player of the season. Your defence is rubbish, Ayush. I'm sorry. Lovren, Klavan, Matip's not even been great, and I thought he would be. Simon Mignolet, there. Milner was one of your best defenders last year. He's a midfielder. Sorry, Ayush. Rant over about that. Of course, my chat has dropped. Oh, we got Mr. Sponsor himself, Blessing Arola, in the chat. How are you doing, my friend? I've not got to that part of the chat yet, but good to see you in the chat. If someone could tell Blessing about the bad news, and I understand, Blessing, if you unsponsor during that period, because if I'm not streaming, then there's no point in you sponsoring the stream. Charlie Costa, triple up on Watford players after this game week because they're the best 5 fixtures of December. They do, but how many players in that Watford side are good point scorers? I'd say you've got potentially Andre Gray, but he could not always play. You've got Richarlison, who's a great choice. Get Richarlison in, definitely. Defensive-wise, you haven't got a consistent defence there. Of course, Ziegler has come in and scored a massive game week score. But if he continuously does that, definitely bring him in. But then you've got Will Hughes, maybe. You've got Decore. But not many of those players really have underlying stats which suggest they'll continue to keep scoring heavily. So I wouldn't necessarily say you have to triple up, but I would definitely consider having at least one person covering your Watford side if you don't already. Chaos asking, how come you don't have the FPL extension? I don't know why. I just haven't put it in yet this season. I'm really slow to put stuff in sometimes, which is bad, of course. By the way, next week, just so I don't forget, the videos may be late, depending on how drunk I get at the Christmas party, which is on a Sunday. I am off the Monday, which is great for me. Student prices as well at my Christmas party, so I get beer for cheap. So yeah, if I'm very hungover, there may not be videos next week early, because I think the game week's short as well. In fact, there'll be a stream. There will be a stream Monday night. So there you go, early. For those people that always are like, when's your next stream? I'm pretty sure, if I have a quick look, next game week starts on the 12th. So Monday I will definitely be streaming. I won't be streaming Sunday night because I will be living it up. But Monday I will definitely stream. I may even see if I can do an early stream. Ask the missus. And then maybe that will help me not get too drunk. If I can do a stream at around 12 o'clock my time, which is when my daughter has her nap. If I can get a stream around 12 or 1, and then maybe a stream later on in the day as well, that way I can get 2 streams in when there's only 1 day in the game week, which would be good for you guys. I doubt I'll get a proper video in with so little time. Dom Stimfig, who do I captain? Mariah, Hazard, Kane or Salah? By the way, apologies, I've not kept up with the polls, have I? I've not put any poll up. I think I need a poll master or something. I should get one of you guys to be the poll master every game week. Just message me what the polls are so I can type them in before I start streaming. Who do I captain? Morata, Hazard or Kane or Salah? My gut, I believe I said Hazard again when I looked last stream. West Ham's defence are poor. Spurs I don't want to risk purely because they've been disappointing. Everton, whilst there's probably going to be a lot of goals in that game, I also worry that it's an unpredictable game. I think derbies generally are unpredictable. So I would say out of those players, Hazard and then Morata, then probably Salah and then Kane. Because I can't in good conscience suggest Kane, although I'll probably still make that mistake. Upgrade Christensen to Kolasinac. I would generally think that there might be a better person in your team to upgrade than Christensen. I like Christensen at the moment. Kolasinac, of course, is a great player to bring in, though, as well. What do I think about Young? Right now, Ashley Young is still classed as a midfielder. So, as far as... And this is a question from Michael Ringsell. I think you guys are making one of my friends mature a little bit, because usually he doesn't ask sensible questions. Ashley Young, for a £5 million midfielder, is actually doing rather well. If he was a defender, I would say you need him in your sides, especially at £5 million. As far as midfielders go, we've got 50 points. You do have players around his price range that are doing better. Sermon's doing better. Decore's not much more expensive and he's doing better. But he's not bad. If you want that Man United coverage, he's not bad. But do I think he can consistently keep up? Like I know he scored 15 points, which is just crazy for that game week 14. And then he did have 8 and 6 points beforehand. But he doesn't get those clean sheet points. If he was getting those clean sheet points as well, then he would be a must-have right now. It's kind of a shame they don't have like what FIFA has, because basically in FIFA what happens is if you change club or position and it's very noticeable, what can happen in January is they do an update on the Ultimate Team card. If they could update players' positions or clubs, they do update clubs, but if they could update positions as well in January, I'd say in January Ashley Young, you'd need to jump on him if he didn't change in price. Real DMC, I feel sorry for you if you can't if you can't get Hazard in right now, because I feel like with their fixtures he's going to go on a good run. Siraj, sometimes you have to listen to your gut, mate. Amir, I do have a garage. The unfortunate thing is my garage. I live in an apartment block and I live on the 7th floor. My garage is all the way down in the basement, and I don't get internet or electricity in my garage. Otherwise I would. Otherwise that would be the ideal solution. You and Andy could rent a place together. I'm not sure he'd want to put up with my kid. Ask questions, JNO's catching up. That's the problem with Yush though. The reason I stream is because I've noticed the more consistent I am streaming, the more support I get live. And at the moment, YouTube is really pushing live because they want to try and catch up with places like Facebook and so on and so forth. And I'm trying to, I'll be honest with you guys, I'm trying to jump on the fact that they want to do better in the live market. And that is why I've started to stream. Also, I've noticed how well Andy was doing with it. So, you know, I was like, wow, look at how well he's done streaming. And to be honest, streaming is a lot less work. Whilst I may stream for 3 hours, I set it up, I get every page in front of me ready. I don't have to do editing, I don't have to do graphics, I don't have to do the research as much. So I would love to be able to stream every single day and just build up a streaming channel, but videos also do really well for me at the moment. So I need to do both. But if I stream that late, would I still get the support? How many of you guys would actually be able to watch me if I started streaming at 11 o'clock UK time? Because then maybe I would set up all my stuff in the other room and wait till my wife goes bed and then stream, and might just for like a couple of months have to do with less sleep than I'm been used to. Ilias Hussain says remove Kane for the match against City and Burnley. I wouldn't remove him against Burnley really, but that might be a decent move if you think Burnley can keep Kane out. As long as Kane keeps going down in price, that won't be a problem. The problem is, if Kane suddenly gets a massive score and you've taken him out, you might have to be really quick to get him back in. Unless you've spent the money elsewhere, then you may need to make 2 or 3 transfers to get him back in. At his price, it's hard to get a player like Kane back into your side if you take him out. JP43, I would say Sterling and Sane have proven... Maybe not Sane, because his performances aren't as good as they were. But Sterling has proven that he should start every game, in my eyes. The problem is rotation with Pep is unpredictable. A player could be on absolute fire and he still gets dropped. So, that is why I'm not really risking it. Charlie Costa, I don't think I've seen you in the stream before. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Is it worth keeping Alonso? I would say he's too expensive to keep, unfortunately. If he was scoring at least every 3 or 4 games, I'd say keep him. But he hasn't been, so I'd say get him out for someone else. Christensen, JP43, I'd agree. Potentially could start getting some goals, but you never know. If JNO stops streaming, who will ask me questions? From Siraj. Facebook has launched a new feature. Get on it, JNO. I mean, you stopped streaming, we got on Riot. You could Riot. Who knows? Maybe FPL will be like, come stream at our office. You can work for us. That would be cool if you could all just spam the official FPL and just be like, give JNO a job so he can stream. What I may consider doing, just to... I know not all of you have Facebook. I'm assuming a lot of you have Facebook because it's very popular. I may try and figure out a way to get better audio on my phone and then stream on my phone. Not sure where I'd do it because it would still be annoying to my wife to stream in the sitting room. And I'd have to be close enough to my internet to get a good stream going. I don't want to eat up all my data for one. The thing is, I don't want to stop it because I've clearly built up some momentum. My streams are doing better because I did really well during pre-season. Then I missed a couple of weeks. And then when I started streaming again, they weren't doing great. But I'm starting to build something. So I would like to, like this one, we stayed around 40 to 50 people watching for a good hour. There was the one last week where we got up to like 80 people watching. We still do have the occasional stream where we're around the 20-30. But the fact that I'm hitting around 50 means I'm getting somewhere because... most people, when they start streaming, are hitting the 20-30, even with big channels, because some people don't like stream community, and you have to build a stream community, which is what I've been trying to do. If a lot of you can move to Facebook, I might try and figure out a way of doing it on my phone, and then maybe I'd have to go to a friend's house and stream off their internet. I don't know. It wouldn't be as good a setup as this one with like a microphone up here, my computer with a OBS and a light shining on my face and everything, which of course I have all of this anyway for normal videos, but we could still maybe figure something out. But then I wouldn't be looking at stats as much as well. It would just be my opinion off the top of my head. Opinion on Spurs double game week, JNO. I would... John. Don't call me John. That's my government name. And actually, no one calls me John anyway, just for the record. But the good thing about the double game week is, as far as I'm aware, and I'll just bring it up so everyone can see it, is Spurs have a great double game week. They have West Ham, whose defence have been shocking, and they have Swansea. Now, some people are considering doing the triple captain, for this one, because when is a player the caliber of Harry Kane or anyone of that caliber going to have that good a double game week? Now, what happened last season is people had double game weeks, but one of those games was difficult. That sometimes doesn't matter, but you fancy someone like Kane more when he's got West Ham and Swansea than when he's got, say, a Swansea and then a Man United. So that is why a lot of people are very interested in this double game week. Also, because it comes at such a random time, it's a random time where you could really jump up your ranking that you don't usually get at that point in the season. Other than that, though, none of the Spurs players are standing out to me. Son may be the best differential you could bring in for that period if you had an inkling he was going to play both games. But to be honest, Eriksen hasn't been as good as he was at the beginning of the season. Dele Alli has been a bit disappointing. The defence has been very disappointing. So apart from Kane, and Kane's been disappointing as well. So I'm really hoping we see some sort of upturn in the Spurs team before that double game week. And sorry if you keep seeing me touch my nose, but my nose feels really irritated. I think I'm still carrying a bit of a cold. Will Jones be back for Bournemouth at home? If that's the next game, it's not guaranteed. How far am I from actually answering all the questions? I'm quite away. So, guys, I may get another drink. I've still not got to blessing. So, what? You're just going to see the holding screen for a second. I'm just going to grab another drink. Alright guys, I'm back. I've blown my nose. I've got another drink. My wife is bawling her eyes out. Holby City is apparently drama right now. But anyway, back to the stream. Will Jones be back for Bournemouth at home? Like I said, if it's the game I'm thinking of, he won't be. Oh no. It's the next game week. So he could be back. When I wouldn't risk it, to be fair. Whilst like Wenger's come out and said Mustafi should be good for the West Ham game, Mourinho hasn't come out and said the same about Jones, so I wouldn't risk Jones for that game week. To be honest, Siraj, I think if Jones is fit, he may very well take the place of Lindelof, because I don't like Lindelof. And we've finally got to Blessing a Rolo. So I have a feeling I'm well behind in the chat, so we might be having another epic streaming session. Which is not good, because I've got an early start tomorrow. But you know what, guys, you know what I'm like. I can't leave you guys hanging. Sarfat Kana, how you doing, man? I'm good, if that question's to me. If it's to someone else, I believe they're good as well. So, Ilyas Hussein has a plan for Kane for game week 22. So, he's thinking of downgrading a mid so he can bring in Kane. And then, so he could bring in someone for Firmino. If you've got a plan, then that's fine, mate. Oh, my nose is really irritating me. Sorry, guys. Yeah, if you've got a plan, then go for it. But to be safe, you need Harry Kane for that double game week. If you don't have him for that double game week and he does really well, you're going to drop considerably in the ranking. Because some people will triple captain him and some people will captain him. And there's the potential to get massive scores. I mean, sometimes people get massive scores anyway. There was that game week where I think Aguero got 25 points. So if you captained him, you got 50 points. That was last season. And then if you triple captained him, and it was just a one-off game against Newcastle. In fact, was it Newcastle? Then that would be 2 years ago, wouldn't it? Because they've just got promoted back up. But whenever it was, some people got 75 points off of their triple captain, which is an incredible score. Florin Sandu wants to go through the next 2 game weeks and pick high-scoring options. So for me, from the next 2 game weeks, the high-scoring players, you're looking at Watford, Burnley away and Crystal Palace away. I fancy Burnley away to keep a clean sheet, even against a high-scoring Watford. I then think you've got Crystal Palace, who could concede a lot. I wouldn't say the next 2 game weeks it's guaranteed that you're going to get someone from that Watford side that will score big. It could happen, but I wouldn't guarantee it. Chelsea, West Ham and Huddersfield. In fact, that lineup there, because Arsenal, Southampton, West Ham is decent, but Southampton's defence aren't terrible. West Ham and Huddersfield are awful defensively. Like, I seriously think that potentially you might need 2 Chelsea players for the next 2 game weeks. Because those are 2 very, very... It's both away, but both defences are bad. Other than that, Crystal Palace, Bournemouth, Watford, both defences aren't like really solid. Liverpool, Everton, West Brom, Bournemouth. Everton, they could score lots of goals against. And then West Brom, I'd fancy Liverpool to score goals against. Leicester, Newcastle, Southampton. Again, as far as Southampton are concerned, I don't think their defence is too bad. You've got Tottenham, Stoke and then Brighton. They could run riot. It's possible. Burnley, I just don't fancy as a team that score a lot of goals anyway. Newcastle against Leicester and Everton in the next 2. Potentially, Everton and Leicester can concede. But it's that Chelsea team there that I think can score big. I may take a random risk. Should I do a drunk transfer? I'm not sure I'm drunk enough yet. But the transfer I'm considering is a Chelsea player, because the next 2 games are sick for Chelsea. And then the game after that isn't bad. But I could take Pogba out and bring in a Chelsea midfielder. It is doubling up on the midfield, which I'm not necessarily massively eager on doing, because I don't like doubling up in the same position. But I could bring in Fabregas, who, by the looks of it, hasn't done anything in the last 3 game weeks. Can randomly get assists, though. We've got Kante. We've got Pedro. Again, he hasn't done anything in a while. He didn't start the Newcastle game, which is worrying. So it looks like I'm not actually going to spot a move here that I can make. Willian, 12 minutes in the last game. It looks like to me, because as far as I'm aware, Chelsea have changed to a 3-5-1-1. So Fabregas and Morata are the nailed-on options. I might take a -4 for Morata to come in then. Could I bring in Azpilicueta? Don't really have a good move for Azpilicueta. Christensen for Davis. I just feel like those 2 fixtures, especially after how the game against Newcastle went, I kind of want Chelsea coverage now. Anyway, I think I've dropped to the bottom again. No, I haven't. I've lost my position, guys. Okay, there we go. Can you compare Ramsey and Coutinho on FF Scout, please? No worries. Give me a second. I've got to bring that all up. Coutinho and who? Yep, I can feel the beer starting to take effect. I forgot. only two names I need to remember: Ramsey and Coutinho. That's all I have to remember, and pretty quickly I forgot. Ramsey and Coutinho. So there's Ramsey. So bring up Ramsey, and then we got. And by the way, if you guys want me to compare players, just tell me, and I can put them in and then compare head to head. I generally do it just so you guys know for the last 6 game weeks, because I feel like if you do it over the entire season, then the first 5 game weeks will have an effect on their overall performance, and the first 5 game weeks were ages ago now. So overall, Ramsey is up on stats summary 66% to 34%. Price wise he's cheaper, which of course is a plus. Starts wise he's more nailed on. Coutinho has been rested, whereas Ramsey has not been rested. That is probably most likely due to the fact that Arsenal have had Europa League, whereas Chelsea have had Champions League. So Ramsey is fit enough to play 2 games in a 4-day period, whereas Coutinho, because he's got Champions League games to play in as well, because he's had injuries recently as well, isn't as nailed on game time wise. So despite that though, Coutinho scored more goals. He scored 2-1. More assists for Ramsey, 4-3 however, so it kind of balances out. We've got goal involvement rate. Actually, Coutinho wins. When he's on the pitch, Coutinho gets involved in the goals more. But you kind of expect that, considering Coutinho's importance to Liverpool compared to Ramsey's importance to Arsenal. As far as bonus points, Ramsey is more likely to get bonus points. He kind of wins in every bonus point system point. His bonus points system total is higher. His baseline is higher. His pass completion is higher. His clearances, blocks and interceptions is higher. So Ramsey's winning in all bonus point areas. You've then got penalty area touches. Ramsey's winning there as well, but he has of course had more game time. Minutes per goal, Ramsey is down though. But minutes per chance created, he's not too far off of Coutinho. Coutinho again has a better minutes per chance created and minutes per attempt. You've got minutes per attempt at 20.7 for Coutinho, to minutes per attempt at 37.4 for Ramsey, and then chances created it's 35 to 44 minutes. But then as far as goal attempts, Ramsey's had more goal attempts. He's had more goal attempts inside the box. He's had less shots on target by 1, but he has had more big chances in total. His shot accuracy is down, however, as is his goal conversion. So Coutinho's taken more of his chances. And then as far as distribution goes, the only thing that Coutinho's winning in is the minutes per chance created, because he's had less minutes. But through balls, Ramsey's had more, 4-3. Chance created, Ramsey's had 12-7. Big chance created, 5-2 for Ramsey. And assists, 4-3. So I personally think it's so close that because there's such a big price difference, Ramsey's actually better value, which means he's the better choice. Because if they continue that kind of trend, then generally you're going to see more points, or more points if you pick the more expensive players correctly, because you picked Ramsey. You could get more points overall. Thomas McCarthy, what name on your other channel? It's now called WITW, What in the World. That may give you an idea what I may be starting to do on there instead. But it's changing. It's not going to be gaming. If you guys don't like it, I fully understand though. But I know for a fact I cannot keep... I cannot do a gaming channel. I won't be successful in the gaming channel market. I've tried, and this was at a time last year or early this year when I could do a video a day, and I still wasn't getting much growth. And the games I really enjoy, FIFA is so saturated. And I was going to actually do FIFA and do trading, because I'm actually getting some coins, decent amount of coins trading. And then I was going to stream FIFA as well, and then just not actually edit videos and stuff like that. But I now, it's dawned on me I'm not going to be able to do gaming because of my kid being born. However, the other game, Football Manager, again takes time to record, takes time to stream. If you stream, people want you to stream for a certain amount of time anyway. So I'm going to try something completely different. A little bit similar to some videos I've done before, but it won't be as edited as that. It could be as edited, to be honest. It won't be as creative as the videos I'm talking about, but it hopefully will still be entertaining. The other name on my other channel again is What in the World, or WITW. If you type in WITW, that is the name of it now. So hopefully it's findable, but in fact I may link it before I sign off at the end, so you guys can go and support on that if you wish. It'll be a completely other side to my personality. You guys probably see more of my personality in the stream than the people doing the videos, because here it's just me talking to you guys, trying to crack a joke and all that kind of stuff, but still answer FPL questions. Me drinking, of course, is going to loosen me up a bit as well. Hopefully it goes well. If it goes really well, it will also help me dedicate more time to this channel as well, though. I just can't Florence Sandu get coverage with Son, because I don't think he's nailed on, but let me check. Again, it might be me just assuming something, because it was the case, and I've not gone and checked, because it's getting to the period now where I'm very busy at work, so I'm kind of not keeping an eye on everything as much as I was. Where the hell is Son? There he is, sorry. See, substitute there, subbed off in those three. Someone may have been injured in those three. Just, the game time isn't secure, and I don't like risking non-secure game time, says the man with Mbemba and Elliott, but they did seem secure when I picked them, just in my defence. Jeff Holt wants to look at the league. Of course he does. He wants to look at the league because he knows that you get to look at his lovely name. I reckon he just likes to brag to his missus. Oh look, Jeff Holt's 9th. I wonder why he wanted to look at the name. Can I just say, has Jamal Rice always been in the top? Jamal Rice didn't even pick a team name, and me and him have had our beef about the Liverpool defence, but maybe Jamal Rice is one to listen to. Because if we look, he's on 963 points. Overall rank in the world. In the world. 35th. In the world. Jamal Rice, part of our flock. Top of the FPL Today League. Just wow. Jeez. FPL Updates League. He could win that and win 500 Gs. My man from Barbados is representing. He didn't have the best game week last game week. 44 points when the average was 44. But before then, he's been on fire. As far as other people from the stream, Jeff Holt is of course at 9th. Is there anyone else? I apologise if I miss your name, by the way. Craig Manuel, 17th. We've known that. He's mentioned it in the chat. Anyone else in the top 50? No name is jumping out at me. Again, apologies if I am going past your name. Fire Tog. We know he's in the stream sometimes. He's at 42nd. Devshits, he's at 45th. So we've got people there. I'm at 152nd. Never mind. Let's not dwell on that fact. But Jamal Rice is killing it. Maybe I need to listen to him more. Stop arguing with him. I'm joking, Jamal. If you watch this, I'm joking. Michael Ringsell, this is an FPL channel, so that question's retarded. Apologies for using that word. It's just part of my vocabulary. I just generally use it when I shouldn't. Ayush Fuller, Southampton career mode. You need to stop bringing that up, Ayush. You need to stop bringing that up. Suraj, Ilias take Kane, Rams. Lukaku for City. I wouldn't. Lukaku generally doesn't do well against big teams. TP Football Analysis, and this is quite touching, to be fair. Guys, let's make these 3 months of streaming the best they can be. I'm going to miss them when they're gone, and when you're still answering all our questions, you're enhancing my FPL performance. Well, I'm glad I'm helping, mate. And yeah, I plan on enjoying the stream until it has to come to an end. But if I can figure out a way to continue it, I will figure out a way. If I can figure out a way, I will continue to stream. Ben Foster, or the Everton keeper, Michael Foley. Good to see you in the chat, of course. Ayush, the flock that flocks together, rocks together. You're giving me ideas for my merchandise, Jeff. You're giving me ideas. Rahul Game is in the chat. How you doing, Rahul? Hope you're good. By the way, guys, if you do want to support the stream while it is still going, and if you want to convince my wife, of course, there are ways you can support the stream. There is the sponsor button. Blessing and Rolo is the only sponsor at the moment. There is, of course, other things like Patreon, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. All in the description. Or, of course, you can just like the video, share the video, and make sure to watch the advert before you get into the stream, because that, of course, helps me out as well. TP Football Analysis. Kane is nominated for shortlist for BBC Sports Personality of the Year. Kane personality annoys all FPL players. Look, for a lot of last season, he didn't annoy me at all. It's just recently. That is a good idea as well, Jeff. I could do a Facebook page and just chat to you guys on the Facebook page. We'll figure something out, because I don't want the community to die. I want to keep as many of you around as possible for when I start streaming again. Ouch. Sarfak Kana had Firmino from Gameweek 5. Swapped him from Salah last week to get 13 points. That sucks. That definitely sucks. To be honest, I took a massive risk with Firmino. If I actually think about it, looking at this returns, since Gameweek 4, he returned twice. And the only reason I brought him in was because Liverpool had good fixtures and because I wanted Hazard. And Firmino allowed for that. From Jesus down to Firmino allowed for Eriksen up to Hazard. So it worked. It worked wonders for me. But to be honest, I know a lot of you might think, well done, good decision. You looked at the fixtures. You made a wise move. I was not confident about that move at all. Yish Valur bringing up Ronaldo won the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I personally love Ronaldo as a player. I do get a bit bored of the Messi or Ronaldo thing. I would have liked to see Neymar get it. I would have liked to just see anyone else get it, to be fair. Sorry, pouring my beer, and I think I'm at the point now where multitasking might be a little bit difficult for me. Siraj, if I sell Kane, I'd have money to buy Sanchez, McBurger, and a car. To be honest, buy the car then, mate. TP, when I stop streaming, I may very well have a lot more time to edit some videos, so I definitely could do that. What I hate about the Ballon d'Or and the Team of the Year is why there's so many Spanish players in it. Don't get me wrong, I have no problem with the Spanish League. If the Spanish League is doing well, the Spanish League is doing well. But why is it every single year the Spanish League has more than every other single league? Just why? I just don't... It doesn't compute to me why they always have consistently more people in the Team of the Year. I'm sorry, there's good players in every single league. Don't get me wrong, okay, Ronaldo's there, Messi's there, Neymar's there. But there's good players all around the league. Mahrez for Pogba. Mahrez is a decent shout if you think he'll do well, because Leicester don't have bad fixtures for the next 3 game weeks. That's answering Rahman, by the way. As far as watching along in the living room for the World Cup, I would love to do that, but to be honest, I'd still have work, for one. Two, I would definitely have the England games off. I may do stuff with my friends at pubs and so on and so forth to watch the games. Potentially, if I could get an agreement with the local pub, I could possibly stream off my iPad or my phone. And then if I have to leave, then I have to leave. But the thing is, I wouldn't be able to answer as many questions as I do in these streams. The stream has died down a bit, unfortunately. We have dropped down to 30 people watching. But that may be partly because I suddenly disappeared to blow my nose. And if I did it in my living room, I might have to disappear every now and again because my daughter, if my daughter's awake, guarantee you she will do something to my phone, to my iPad, to whatever I'm using. She will touch it, she will pull out a wire, she will do something to mess up the stream. Thomas McCarthy. Siraj, you may see a massive spike in your Twitter because it looks like people are going to jump to you when I'm not around streaming. On the plus side, Thomas, hopefully I will be better on Twitter when I don't have the live stream. Because I'll be honest, every now and again I have a day where I get a ridiculous amount of requests for rate my teams, for questions. If I'm not streaming, but I can still sit in the sitting room with my computer, I may just have like an hour. And I may just go, ask me questions in the next hour and I'll answer them on Twitter. So this may be a positive thing for my Twitter. I may be able to grow my Twitter massively. So that may be another thing I could consider. So keep an eye on that, Thomas. And I understand, because my phone keeps reminding me, I still haven't looked at your team, which I feel really bad about. So I don't promise it now, because when this stream finishes, I might go straight to bed. But I will try and do it before the game week ends. Shasane is in the chat. Yo, 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 yo. How you doing, my man? I don't think I've seen you in the chat for a while, so good to see you. I do need to get better on Twitter. Just thinking, I generally put my team out just before the game week starts. Sometimes don't say who my captain is. I think I could have had a much bigger effect on Twitter. And of course on Twitter I could make money potentially as well. But Tiger Rage, I say Hazard is the best choice to captain for this game week. Jan Ivor Jacobson, my general policy is never transfer out a player if you have faith in him. That being said, Sane has lost my faith. He was at one point, I thought I had to get him in. But Sterling seems just as good an option at a cheaper price. So I would say get Sane out. Even if you're not sure who to get him out for, if you don't have a transfer to make, just swap him to Sterling. While Sterling may not always start, he's been very, very consistent. TP's team, De Gea, me, Daniels, Otamendi, Vertonghen. Vertonghen can go, just for the record. Otamendi isn't as good as I've been thinking he is. But he did score last game week. Gross, Ramsey, Salah, Abraham, Lukaku, Morata, Pope, Cedric, Richie, Richarlison. Richie can go if you can think of someone else. Abraham can go. Possibly Dominic Calvert. That's the player it was. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And I agree with whoever put this on Twitter. I can't remember off the top of my head. If we look at his underlying stats, I'll go and do it now. His underlying stats are not good. His goals scored are, and let me remember the way he put it in. So, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, at the last 6 game weeks, he's had 4 starts, he's scored 2 goals and got 2 assists. Now, his goal involvement is at 40%, which is decent, but that's because Everton haven't been scoring loads. Minutes per attempt is at 53.4, which averages at 1 or 2 a game for his attempts on goal. He's had, in the last 6 game weeks, 8 attempts on goal, 5 inside the box. Shots on target, he's had 5. Big chances, he's had 2. And he's missed 1 of those big chances. Goal conversion is at 25%, but he's not had loads of chances. As far as his distribution, chances created, he's created 2 chances and got 2 assists from those 2 chances. So his assists is not attainable. He cannot keep getting assists with the way he's currently playing. Goals, potentially he could keep getting. I just think a lot of hype happened because he had 2 good game weeks. And it does help now that he seems nailed on, which is a massive, because he had 4 starts in the last 6 game weeks, but he did appear in every single game. The increase in confidence from his manager could be massive in his performance, which might be why we're seeing this upturn. However, whilst probably last live stream, I think as well, I was thinking Dominic Calvert-Lewin is your budget one. I would not jump on it just yet, purely because the underlying stats don't suggest this return will keep up. We've seen players with a lot better underlying stats not scoring, and this could happen to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. So I just want to make it very clear that I'm taking away my backing of Dominic Calvert-Lewin as far as an option in Fantasy Premier League. I'm not saying it's a bad choice. I'm just saying I'm not going to suggest he's the move you have to make. Just as far as budget strikers go, I don't think his underlying stats are any better than anyone else's. Anyway, I was on TP's team. Sorry about going off topic there. Abraham I would maybe consider changing. Lukaku I don't like, but who else is there other than Morata really? Maybe keep him and hope you get lucky. For Tongan, I would consider getting out. Richie, I would consider getting out. Cedric, of course, isn't the greatest option of either. But to be honest, I don't see him hurting your chances at the moment. Real DMC saying move to Yorkshire, JNO. The thing is, and you can jog on, Michael. The thing is, my wife really likes a certain area of the world, or a certain area of England, and it's in Somerset. Now, we've looked at prices of flats in Somerset, we've looked at prices of houses in Somerset, and yes, it's a lot cheaper, and my salary would be the same if I move. Now, the thing is, the person that's given me my new job, I don't want to just go and move on him, because that seems a bit harsh, but I have told him in the future I am considering moving outside of London. Being frozen on my move, as long as the person in that area wanted me to move to their area, would be fantastic. It would be really good for me. It would mean I'd for a period have an increase in expendable income, which would be amazing, naturally. So hopefully one day that might work. Pretty sure my wife doesn't want to move to Yorkshire. No offence to Yorkshire. We are Southerners. We're Southern Englanders. Nothing wrong with up north. I've had some quality nights out up north. To be honest, every time I've been up north, nothing but friendly people up there. I've often got very drunk in the north, though. Not that I can talk right now, can I? J-Rock, Salah or Morata for me. I still think Hazard's the best choice, but J-Rock, Morata I have no problem with, and Salah could do really well. Sarfak Kana, thank you so much for that comment. That is a great comment. Keep doing what you're doing. Your content is great and you're amazing. Never said this, but thank you for all the help. This is why I do it. I love to help you guys, and I love it when I get comments like that. Sane or Coutinho? Definitely Coutinho at the moment, Rahman. Definitely. Is there a chance Hazard and Salah could be rested following the 90 minutes in Champions League? There's always a chance, but Salah and Hazard seem very important to their sides at the moment, so I wouldn't say they're going to get rested. Everton Derby, you need to be winning that as a Liverpool manager, so I don't think Salah will be rested. Chelsea against West Ham, potentially, but Hazard's been out for a while. He shouldn't really... There's a difference between fitness and match sharpness. If his fitness is back high enough, then he's been rested for a while. So if his match sharpness is back up, his fitness is back up, he can manage a couple of games quickly. So there's a chance, Ilias, it happens, but I don't think it will. But we'll see. I'm probably going to captain Hazard, would be my shout at who I'm probably captaining. Which is surprising, because that would not be Harry Kane, wouldn't it? How are the questions rolling in so much when there's not that many people here? I might have to speed answer some of these questions. Siraj just pointing out a great point. Salah had a brace off the bench, just for the record. So there were a bunch of us worried, and I think I was streaming while it was happening. I think I was live streaming during the game week. It was Tuesday or Wednesday. I was live streaming in Salah, and I might be able to do that again. I'll have to check my rotor. But Salah, we were all like, oh, Salah's not playing, Salah's not playing. And I believe I was going, don't come on, Salah, don't come on, Salah, because Ben Mee at that point was on my bench and would have come on and had a clean sheet. And then Salah came on and I was like, no, I'm losing Ben Mee's points. Ben Mee conceded and then Salah went and scored 2. So Salah's a G. I love Salah at the moment. Desiree Charija, Leicester defender and Chelsea defender. Not bad shouts, to be fair. Michael Ringsell, you were asking decent questions. Now you're just turning back to your usual self. Chaos, how dare you diss Lovren, world class. He takes it back because even he can't say that. Will Milner drop back there? They've got Andrew Robertson, they've got Alexander Arnold, and they've got Joe Gomez. Don't know if Joe Gomez can play left back though. Florin Sandu, I would ask some of the Liverpool fans in the chat if Moreno out would be assigned to jump on Milner, but I don't think it is. Ricarlison against Burnley at home. Watford aren't at home, are they? I thought it was Burnley at home. Yeah, Burnley at home. Burnley are good defensively at home, but I would love the Ricarlison points, I'm not going to lie. Craig Manuel, catch you later. You're probably already gone, to be fair. That's how far behind I am on the chat. But thank you so much for joining the stream. TP, if I can watch the game, it's on BT Sport. And you get my dad's team. A week today. So it's next week on Thursday. I might be off. I might watch it. How many of you in the flock would join a live stream where we're watching Hereford against Fleetwood? I'm guessing a bunch of you aren't actually interested in lower league football though. See you later, Daz Dark. Thank you so much for catching the rest of the stream. If you do, go live at your ex's party. We'll see what they say. I'm not sure necessarily my company wants to be affiliated with my stream. I try and never bring up the company I work for or the companies I have worked for. And to be honest, if my other channel ever gets massive, which if it does, I probably would quit my job anyway. But if my other channel got massive, the thing I'm planning for it, because I'm trying to be entertaining, they may not necessarily want to be linked with that either. So I doubt I'd do that purely because I have every now and again been noticed in my local area, and to be honest, who knows if the company that I work for, I almost said it then, want to be associated with what I do. It'd be lovely if they did want to be associated with what I do, but of course I am streaming live on the internet while drinking, so that's not necessarily a good look for a brand. Sean Stow, will I be looking to get Phil Jones back after his injury? If I see that he is nailed on, very possible. After the 21st of December, I'll have vacations to stream. I will not stream Christmas Day, just for the record. Very unlikely I'll stream Boxing Day because it's the first time I've ever had Boxing Day off in a long time, which will be great for me because I've never really had much time with my daughter on Christmas. I might try stream Christmas Eve, maybe. Maybe get a Christmas hat and all that kind of stuff. And don't know how serious I'll actually take it. Then I am, I think, working the 27th. But we'll see what I can do, Siraj. It would be good to allow you to enjoy stream and you not be worrying about actually having to do stuff the next day. TP, that could be massive for your team. I know the few cup runs we had as a lower league team, as a conference team, helped us quite a bit. AFC Wimbledon. Desiree Tarija, I understand, mate. I ideally would like to start my streams earlier, but until my daughters are at an age where they understand what daddy's doing and they won't like interrupt. So in 5 years' time, if we're all still around, I could probably start the stream earlier when I finish work early. And, you know, I get it, but just for the record, Desiree, Desire Tarija, Siraj is later than you, I think, and he's still here. No, I'm joking. I always say, if you can't be in the stream, you can't be in the stream. I can only do a stream when I can do the stream, and I really wish I could do it more regularly, and I really wish I could do it at a time which suited everyone better, but I can only do it when my rota allows, which is unfortunate. Take out Pope to bring in De Gea. I like Nick Pope, because I've just learnt his name. I spent a long time learning his name, so I don't really want to take him out my side. De Gea could be a great choice. Again, this is me being stubborn. De Gea probably is the best choice this year. From what I've seen so far, I think De Gea will be the best goalkeeper this year. Will he score enough points to be better than a player that's £1 million cheaper? I think he might. And unfortunately, I'm just so stuck in my ways that I probably won't be able to take advantage of that. TP, if I ever have a chance when I can do the live stream, I will do it. But it will be so random. It will be when I have a day off and my wife will say, and we're not doing anything, we're not going out anywhere, we're not meeting people, we're not going to a party, we're not going to a kid's party, we're not... Randomly, there might be days where my daughter will be put to bed, my older daughter, and... Because sometimes my wife likes to sleep when my daughter's sleeping. Because you've got to understand, when I'm at work, she has to put up with the kid all day. And that can be tiring sometimes, because children are tiring. I will try and fit in live streams when I can. Maybe I'll try and do live streams on Facebook on my phone, just answer questions quickly. I don't know. I will try and fit in live streams, but I can't promise there will be live streams. Siraj has to go. Got to travel 1 hour. Pray for United. To be honest, I stopped supporting United for a bit, but when I say support, following, because basically a family member followed or supported United, so I followed them, but they passed away, so I stopped. But now Siraj has me praying for Man United, and I'm like, what? Why am I suddenly praying for Man United again? TV Football Analysis, Ayush I'd happily watch the Southampton career mode. I don't know if it's still on. Ayush will know if you can still watch it, but you know what? I was pretty bad, and that may get on my other channel, me rewatching some of my old videos, because I wasn't good then, was I, Ayush? I think I've improved a lot now. I still got a ways to go, but I'm a lot more natural now than I used to be. The one thing I really need to learn is, because I'm so busy looking at the chat, I don't look at the camera, which could put some people off, to be fair. It all depends what you like, though, because there are plenty of streamers that don't actually look at the questions, and I think, what's the point? Like, if you're playing a game, then fine, but there has to be some sort of interaction with the live chat, or what is the point of being live? Like, I just don't get it when people do things live and don't interact with the chat. I mean, I love Loki Doki's setup. His wife jumps on the stream as well and asks the questions, and Loki Doki doesn't even have to look at his chat. He just gets his wife to ask him. I've forgotten her name. Curly. There we go. Is it time from Elias Hussein to go with 1 premium striker and 5 premium midfielders? Sorry, congested. if you can get 5 premium midfielders in, like say you could get Salah, Hazard, maybe De Bruyne, because he's at least nailed on, or Sterling, that's 3. I wouldn't say you need 5 premium midfielders, because then you've got Richarlison and Gross, who are doing well enough in points that you don't need necessarily to have that many premium midfielders. But there's definitely nothing wrong with going 4-5-1 the way the game is currently going. Thank you, TP, so much for saying you'd go to whatever system I went to. I just know that I've never streamed on YouTube on my phone. I might try it randomly one day just to see how it works. Because it would be good to keep it here because we know everyone has this. So no one has to add stuff. But I just don't know how feasible it is on a phone to stream on YouTube. I know what it's like to stream on YouTube, on Facebook, sorry, with a phone though. That's why I've been mentioning it. Jamyang Garang, okay, bye, you didn't reply my question. I didn't see your question, to be fair. So, whom to captain this week? I did actually go past it. Apologies for that, but to be honest, you probably said that way before I even saw your question. Again, if you are asking questions right now, I am often behind the chat, so apologies. I reckon I'll probably lose a lot of people because of that as well. But I just cannot answer questions properly. I've actually made him a moderator by accident. There we go. Unfortunately, I can't keep up and answer your questions properly. I can answer your questions very quickly, but then what's the point? I'm not really giving you a proper answer. Arthur Bremond, I've just moved Kane and Carroll for Lacazette and Ramsey. Is that a good switch in your opinion? I'd say overall, yes. Ramsey is a lot better than Carroll as a choice. Kane could come back and randomly start scoring, but Lacazette definitely does have better returns at the moment. J-Rock needs a replacement for Daniels. Maguire's a good shout because of their fixtures. Sakho's a decent shout because whilst Palace aren't exactly the best defence, their fixtures suggest they could get maybe 2 clean sheets. Anyone else? Leicester, like we've already mentioned. Huddersfield have a decent run after game week 17, but there's no one there that really I would go for. I don't have faith in their defence. Burnley have a decent next 3, but then they do have Spurs and Man United. So I'd say Maguire is a good shout. I'd say Maguire is probably your best option. Sarfat Kana, a £6.3 million striker. I'm really congested today, so apologies, guys, if I'm sounding a bit nasally. Alright, so, I mean, if we just look at points, and at least form, current form, we're looking at Juve and Calvert-Lewin. Maybe Glenn Murray as well, and Andre Gray. I wouldn't look at anyone other than those 4. Abraham could return, start returning again, but there's been a very, very, very quiet period for Tammy Abraham. I am very congested today. Apologies. Sid Sir 69, Richarlison or Ramsey. I would try and have both, to be fair, with their runs. If I had to pick one, I'd go Richarlison, because he's just been that good for so long. Who has been the biggest disappointment this season? That's from Ismail Mayet. Defoe definitely has. A lot of people thought Defoe would be good. That's a good shout, Sarfak. Michael Ringsell, my mate, has just asked, what does the ting go? He wants me to do it on stream. I generally try not to do it in where I'm trying to be professional to a certain extent. I don't do it at work, and I probably would never do it on stream. One day it may randomly go on a video for entertainment purposes, but yeah, I'm not going to do it now, Michael. Biggest disappointment. Right now, Harry Kane's getting very, very close. Aguero and Jesus because they're not playing together. Alonso, because his price got boosted so high because everyone assumed he'd still score loads of points, and he hasn't. He's scored enough, but everyone thought he'd be the top scoring defender, and he's not. Let me just double check that he's not, because if he is, then I look like a bit of an idiot. Monreal's the top scoring defender. Otamendi, Ward, Maguire. Yeah, he's nowhere close. Oh no, I blew him price limited, didn't I? He's the 4th best scoring, but for 0.7 million cheaper, you could have got Kolasinac. Azpilicueta at the start of the season, just for the record, was 6.5, so he was 0.5 million cheaper than Alonso. And Valencia, again, was 0.5 million pounds cheaper. So you could have got any of those 3 and been better off. And to be honest, if you got Monreal, he's better because whilst he's 1 point behind, you could have picked him up at 5.5. That's 1.5 million pounds cheaper than Alonso. Otamendi, only 1 point behind. Again, I believe Otamendi was 5.5, which he was. Ward, only 3 points behind. And if you'd got him at the start of the season, 4.5. So Alonso hasn't been worth the transfer increase. Joshua King is another one, because Joshua King got a transfer price increase and he got a position change. And whilst he's got 38 points, 7 million, I just wish he was still a midfielder. And I kind of wish Callum Wilson and Defoe hadn't turned up, because last season King was one of my favourite players. I absolutely loved Joshua King last season. How far behind am I in the chat? I'm still, whoa, still a decent amount. I might need to go get another drink. If someone could put the league code in for Sarfak, that would be great. Yeah, I'm seeing responses to what I've been talking about like ages ago. Thomas McCarthy, I really do need to look at your team. I apologise for not doing it yet. Chaos is 21st in the league. Well done, Chaos. Daniel Ringsell now also asking me what the ting goes. What about a beer review channel, JNO? I would enjoy doing that. That's a good point, though. But I'd have to be like a taster, not just a drinker. I don't think I could make a channel and just be like, which beer gets you drunk the quickest? That could be a video. If I did different days with different beers, but of course if you change the days and change the foods you've eaten, that's not scientific enough. But yeah, funny idea. Like, that could actually get some views. I was going to say my code is in all my videos at the beginning. What about streaming on Instagram? I mean, what I might need to do is put some sort of poll out, maybe on a video, so I get like a really good response on the poll, and be like, which one do you guys have more, Facebook or Instagram? Flock off is a good motor. I think it means motto there, blessing, I think. Yeah, if you guys ever have like any marketing ideas, let me know. I have both Ronaldo and Messi. I hate both Ronaldo and Messi. Mate, I accept you, because I'm getting tired of them now, to be fair. I agree with Siraj. I respect him. I still believe they're both the best players in the world right now. But, to be honest, like, it would just be nice to see other people get credit for how good they are. TP. Depending on how the game goes, I'm not... Actually, it would be fun for you guys. Gustuan... Gustar... I've been drinking, so I'm saying your name wrong. What about Goodmunson? I personally don't think there's any Burnley player, midfield, forward, apart from Brady, that I really have any faith in. But Goodmunson's definitely got some points. Thank you very much, Chaos. I'm assuming you probably have gone already. Good night, Siraj. Thank you for joining the chat. You're an hour behind the comments when I sent this message. Holy crap. How are you so pretty, John? Stop using my government name. Mark back, don't worry. I'm never giving up. Like, even if in 10 years' time I've not made it, then fine. At least I can say I've not given up. So don't worry about that. There will always be content on this channel. And then it may have taken me a while, but I am figuring something out for the other channel. And I would love to one day turn around and go, look, it did take me 6-7 years, but now this is my job. So don't worry, Mark. I'm not going to give up. Sarfak, no problem, mate. Have a good night. Well, TP, of course you'd be interested. I'm just not sure how many other people would. Florin Sandu. It's kind of going to be a reaction channel, but not as basic. I want it to be more entertaining than... my personal opinion, Florin, about reaction channels is a lot of them literally play a video, they sit there, and they go, ooh, ooh, oh, he didn't say that. What is that? I could watch it and do that for myself. Whereas I think channels that are doing other content and then do reactions... So say I watch the Sidemen and I watch Mini Minter's one of my favourites, but there's other Sidemen that I also watch. There's other channels I watch and they react to like the diss tracks that was a massive thing during the summer. They didn't just sit there and react. They watched a bit and then they had a little comment. They had a little joke. They did something to be entertaining. They didn't just react. So yes, but I'm not going to be reacting to what everyone reacts to all the time. If there's some massive bit of news or massive thing on YouTube, then yes, I might react to it. But I'm going to try and react to other stuff that other people aren't reacting to and try and make it funny. And what I will say to you guys, because you guys are such big supporters of the stream and the videos, if you go and watch Triggered Tro, whilst I probably won't be as brutal as him, I probably would be aiming to be something similar. His name's Triggered, as in like when you're triggered about something, and then Tro, T-R-O. That's the kind of thing I'm looking at, but on stuff that's maybe some people aren't reacting to. Jamal Rice, #1 in the FPL Today League. Need more Chelsea cover. I 100% agree. If you were here earlier, I said my next transfer will be a Chelsea player because West Ham and Huddersfield in the next 2 games, Chelsea coverage is vital. Edison Isaku, Jano, never been able to join your live stream, but I finally made it. What are you drinking today? Which means he's been supporting the stream by watching the replay. So thank you so much, man. I'm drinking beer. It's Pilsner. Thank you so much for asking. Thank you so much for joining the stream. Massive. Thank you so much. Anyway, can you put the link to the new channel? You know what? I will do that now because I'm asking people to go support me on the new channel. And then it's like, well, yeah, can we have the link, bro? And I'm just not giving people the link. I'm telling people to type in the name, and it's a completely new name. It may not actually be one you can find very easily because I've only just changed it. So yeah, it doesn't just jump up, does it? because I've literally done no videos under that moniker. So fair play. I'm telling you guys to go and find the channel, and I've changed the name of it. Let's have a look. Channels. See, this is why I need your guys' support. I need to get above all these people. Anyway, I'm sure I can find it somewhere in here without... There we go. It's still JNO on my subscriber thing. There we go. There you go, guys. That's the link to what I will try and be doing on the other channel. If only John Mills was in FPL, 170 games, 170 goals. Reaction video to reaction videos. You know what? That is a good video idea. I'm not going to lie, Florence Sandu, because a lot of it will be trying to like take the mick out of some reaction channels. That's the thing, TP. I think reaction channels are not bad, but I just think so many of them are done so badly, and they get views, and I'm like, well, I could do it so much better. This is me. This is big head JNO mode, and I've got a big head anyway. But I'm sure I could do it better than these reaction channels are doing. Like, they sit there and they don't try and make it entertaining, and just do something to like make a joke. At least put a joke in there. Like, come on. So the first one should hopefully be up this week. I've deliberately picked something that other people haven't reacted to, hoping that it's viewed, because I won't have much competition. If I ever get bigger with that channel, then I would do stuff that I'd be competing against people on. But thanks, Michael. Much appreciated that comment. If you watch Grade A Under A, I know of him. I haven't watched that video though. Florence Sandu, I could make an eating video. I could make an eating video. Never mind though. Anyway, guys, because I've caught up with the chat, pretty sure I've caught up with the chat. Yes, I have. I'm going to call it here because it's 2 hours in, and I do have work tomorrow early in the morning. So thank you guys so much for joining the stream. As always, if you want to support the stream in any way, in the short amount of time I've got left for it, then please do sponsor to the channel, the stream. Not doing so well with this outro, to be fair. Also, check out all the links in the description. If you just want to support me in general, there is Patreon as well, which supports not only this channel, but my other channel and everything I do on the internet. That would be much appreciated, of course. Do have new merchandise. We have Join the Flock t-shirts, so go check that out in the link in the description. And also, please go and join or subscribe to the new channel, What's in the World, which will be, I've kind of like given it away a little bit. It will be a reaction channel in a way, but I'm also trying to make it a bit more interesting than normal reaction channels, because you know what? Normal reaction channels are rubbish. So it should be good, hopefully. I don't know whether my face would be on it as much as if you like my face. If that's the reason you watch me, because you like my face, then stay tuned here, because my face should still be around here. But the new one won't have my face as much, just, you know, if you like it, it will still be on the internet, don't worry. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today. I'm still congested as anything, and remember, it's all about the game.